Hello, my name is Hannah. Today I'm going to be presenting my action research project. My action research question is, how can there be consistent hands-on learning opportunities for students? In the literature review, the first commonality amongst literature included being able to utilize readily accessible hands-on learning opportunities. These opportunities could come from within the classroom or utilizing local resources such as museums. The next set of literature found a commonality with using student inquiry and questions in order to develop learning opportunities that allowed for hands-on learning within the classroom. The teacher interview questions include: how does instruction change when hands-on learning is involved? What type of resources do you feel are missing that restrict the amount of hands-on learning that can take place? How does time impact hands-on learning? How are you able to extend or modify learning through hands-on learning? And how is student engagement impacted by the style of learning? Student interview questions. How do you problem solve with labs or hands-on learning? What type of labs or experiments do you wish were present within the classroom? Do you get more out of learning labs or textbook work? How is your teacher able to help with labs? And how does your engagement change with hands-on learning? My action plan is: in order to address the problem, an action research project was conducted to determine how all students can have consistent hands-on learning experiences. One classroom continued to implement school-provided labs and hands-on activities. The second classroom utilized local museums and classroom or lunchroom resources. Throughout the study, the observer, which was myself, documented the number of labs or hands-on learning opportunities that were able to occur. The observer also received and documented lesson plans. To conclude the project prior to analyzing the data, students will complete a survey based on their experiences. The action research project was conducted using mixed method research. To analyze the data, a bar graph compared the number of labs or hands-on opportunities given to students throughout the week. The two classrooms were compared through this data. Observations were organized to compare the two classrooms as well. Student data was organized to document and compare the two classroom experiences. This is the frequency table of hands-on or lab experiences. The lighter blue is classroom 1, and the darker blue is classroom 2. During the first week, classroom 1 was able to experience 3 days, while classroom 2 was only 1. The second week, classroom 1 was able to have 4 days of hands-on learning, while classroom 2 was able to have 2 days. Week 3, the first classroom was able to have 2 days, while classroom 2 was able to have 1. On the fourth week of observation, the first classroom was able to have 4 days, while the second classroom was not able to that week. Here is some classroom observation data comparing classroom 1 and 2. Classroom 1 was able to complete observation and documentation of ice cube melting times and factors, monitoring and documenting plant growth with various variables, determining types of dinosaurs based on moss fossils from a museum kit, and comparing 3 types of paper towels to determine best absorbency. Classroom 2 on the first observation was completing bookwork with vocabulary, making observations about space using a learning poster, completing worksheets on moon phases, using Oreos to create moon phases, and created planets with clay. Some classroom implications and conclusions. Educators must utilize local opportunities such as the Space and Rocket Center, the Anderson Museum, or the McWane Center. Use classroom items such as paper towels, lunchroom ice, water fountains, streams, or rocks. Allow for student inquiry. This will allow the reduction of the number of needed lab materials by allowing for choice. And this should be implemented using a small group learning, which should be 3 to 4 students. This is a continuation of the implications for this action research. These are examples from local state of Alabama learning opportunities for educators to implement within their classroom. These first two are from the Anderson Museum of Natural History. These are take-home learning opportunities a teacher can take home, create the lessons according to how he or she would like to implement them, and then take these materials to their students to work in small groups. First one is focusing on Dynamic Earth Travel Trunk and various dinosaur books, rocks, weather activities. The second one is Terrestrial Habitats Travel Trunk, and a variety of ecology, posters, puppets, DVDs, books, games, plastic animals, and sea exploration kits are available through that trunk. A continuation of Anderson Museum is an aquatic habitat trunk with ecology, coral reefs, frogs, fireflies, some DVDs, books, games, plastic models, sea exploration kits. Another one, this could be implemented through the kit itself or through an activity that the teacher creates his or herself, is an animal bingo. Last portion of the learning opportunities from the Anderson Museum include an Alabama-specific travel trunk, various puppets, stuffed animals, teeth, skulls, horns, plant stuff, books, and games that the teacher could implement within his or her classroom. Next is a variety of design challenges presented and put together by the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center. These are various PDFs that could be used to create learning opportunities within the classroom. This is a short list of these opportunities for learning. However, there is a great list of them as well as opportunities to bring some stuff home on their website. Another opportunity within the state of Alabama is McWayne Science Center resources. These are at-home experiments. There's also homeschooling learning tab and the field trip learning opportunity. These are step-by-step learning opportunities with needed materials, methods, the science, and the challenge. The teacher could differentiate this as needed to implement within his or her classroom based on the inquiry as well as the standards within his or her classroom. To address the action research question one last time, how can there be consistent hands-on learning opportunities for students? And these implications are through local learning opportunities as well as the allowing for student inquiry, which will reduce the number of needed items, as well as utilizing classroom materials that are already there, as well as around the school for learning, for allowing for students to have hands-on learning opportunities as frequent as possible.